In this lesson, I'm going to cover iMovie for the iPad app. What you're going to notice is that iMovie on the iPad is a little bit different than iMovie on the Mac. Obviously, when you're working on a Mac itself, you've got a lot more power there associated, so iMovie is going to be a little more robust in terms of a program. But you're going to be, once you start to see what iMovie on the iPad can do, with a combination of the camera that iPad has and the editing ability within iMovie, you could get through just about anything that you'd really want to on a very small perspective. I think you have a lot of people who use iMovie for different reasons on the Mac, and those are more of your high-end users. In any case, typically whenever you're working with any type of movie editing system, you need some video to start with. I'm in the Cityscape folder under the shared folder under the DMP, which stands for your Digital Media Productions Video Resources. You'll see in the Cityscape folder, I've got 4 videos here. I'm only going to grab 3 of them because this IMG number 2, IMG 0002 is a finished product for another project at some point in time. So I'm going to need to pull 4, 6, and 8 all into an iMovie movie. If you've got your questions set out, you should be good to go. I'm going to hope to answer as many questions as I can on the question set as I roll through this. So here we go with image 0004, and if you look to the bottom right of the icon of the thumbnail, you'll see a little eye with a circle around it, and that's the one I want to hit. That's the information panel that pulls up the details for this video clip. What I'm going to do, hopefully your panel looks the same over here to the right under the details. I need to use the open in command, so that's what I'm going to do. And now what Google Drive is doing is taking that video clip and rendering it and getting it prepared to be used in another app. So that little loading that you saw on the top right of that is exactly what Google Drive was doing. Once it's done rendering, you're going to see I've got some options here that I can use to open this video clip in Edmodo or Dropbox. I've even got Capture, which is a YouTube upload program. So the first one on the list is iMovie. So I'm going to go ahead and press iMovie, and it's going to fire up iMovie on my Apple iPad. And it's going to do a couple of things. It's going to load it into the media bin you see on the top right. And I apologize, I have a lot more video clips on here than you may have on your iPad. It's going to load it in the top right, but it's also going to put it in the timeline. Okay. For now, I'm going to click on it in the timeline. And this is kind of getting ahead of myself, but you'll notice that a clip, when it's selected, you see the yellow bars around the clip. That means the clip is selected. Make sure you're on the video tab, and I'm just going to go ahead and trash that in the timeline. So you'll see the trash can at the bottom right corner. I've selected it. It's in yellow, and I'm just going to hit the trash can, and there it goes from the timeline. The other thing you may notice is at the top left, the movie project has been named My Movie. And there's an arrowhead to the left. And again, this is kind of a weird way of introducing iMovie, I understand, but just bear with me. And I'm going to show you as many of the tools as I can within this program. So I've used one clip. I'm going to actually need to go get the other 2 clips as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to back out of the project for now. I'm going to hit the backward arrow right there. And you'll notice it says My Movie. And for the sake of organization, I'm going to rename that. So I'm going to click on where it says My Movie. And it actually allows me, this is the movie detail screen, by the way, it actually allows me to change the name of the movie. And we're going to call this Cityscape. And that'll be the name of our new iMovie project. I'm good there. I click Done. And there's the name of the movie, Cityscape. And I'm going to hit the back arrow one more time. And you'll see Cityscape in the Projects panel. Projects being the identifier at the top of the screen. So I'm good there, good to go. I'm going to double click, go back to Google Drive, and pick up the other 2 videos done the same way. Hit 6, Information, Open In, iMovie. You do the same process for the other 2 clips. Now this time around on the second clip, it gives me the option to either create a new movie or Cityscape. And if I create a new movie, it's going to put this video in its own movie and not connect it to the other link at all that I've tried with the other video. So I'm actually going to put this one in Cityscape. So it loads that piece into the project window, and I'm good to go there. Let me delete the project, or delete the clip like I just did. Double click, go to Google Drive, hit Cityscape. That's the one I want. And this is a clip of some people walking. So I'm going to hit that and delete because I don't need it in the timeline just yet. I'm going to go back to the timeline a little bit later. So I'm going to hit that one. I'm going to hit Open In. Now this one looks like it's taken a few more minutes to render. And I'm going to choose Cityscape on this one as well. Goes into the timeline, but it gets loaded in my video panel too as well. Okay, so I'm kind of done with Google Drive. If I go back all the way out of Cityscape, one of the things that iMovie does, quite honestly, is it saves by itself automatically. So pretty cool feature if you get caught in trouble there. So just for the sake of showing you those 3 clips and those 3 clips alone, I am going to go through this process of creating favorites within my media clip bin. So the favorites that I want, obviously these I loaded today, so I'm going to favorite that one, and I'm going to favorite that one, and I took those 2 in. And which one am I missing here? I got the street corner, I got the ferry, and the people. So I need the people walking, and I'm going to favorite that one. I probably have. Let me just scroll down through here, make sure I don't have any other favorites. Doesn't look like I have any other favorites, so I'm good to go there. Go back to projects, and I'm going to open up Cityscape for editing. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to the media bin, and I'm just going to turn on, if I notice, I look at my favorites line, and I've got 3 favorites, which is actually really cool because those are the 3 that I want. So I've got 3 video clips here that I want. Okay, I think we're good to start. I got my 3 clips. I'm in my timeline, and I'm ready for the edit decision list, which is right here, right next to me. So the first step on the edit decision list says record your introduction to your video using a straight capture into iMovie. So I look back on iMovie, and I see in the bottom right corner, I've got a little camera in the bottom right corner. I'm going to push on that, and this will be a little crazy. So I push on the camera. I'm going to have to lift my iPad here. You'll see the screen will pop up, and I'm actually going to change cameras so it's the front-facing camera. This will be interesting. You're going to see my microphone. I'm going to slide over and record a video clip for my expose on New York City and how I spent my summer vacation. Hang on one second. You'll see it in the screen. How I Spent My Summer Vacation by Dave Lepage. So hopefully that recorded. You'll see the clip, and you can actually play back the clip by hitting play, or I can actually just I'm good to go there. I'm going to say use video, and so I push on use video on the bottom right corner, and it slides right in. So I'm going to do a little bit of editing here on this piece because I don't want the whole thing. So here's a first introduction to editing. So if I play this clip back, how I spent my summer vacation. So there's my video clip that I've captured directly from the video camera on the iPad. So I'm good. So here's your first piece in editing. I would point out a couple of things to you. If your iMovie app looks different than mine, the first thing I would point out is the top right over here. There's an audio insignia that basically stands for audio waveform. If I look down at my clip, you'll notice that the audio waveform is down below. If I push off on that, there is no audio waveform. Now if I play it back, how I spent my summer vacation, does not mean the audio does not play. It just means that you're not looking at the waveform. So I'm going to keep the waveform on. You'll see the actual waveform of my voice. So there's your audio piece right there. So what I'm going to do is sift through this. You'll notice there's a couple of things that I do before that I'm gonna edit this clip. So I'm going to cut out what I do before, which is looking away, and I'm going to wait until I look directly into the camera right there and I start talking. You can actually see where I start talking on the waveform. And I'm actually going to split this clip. Even before I get to the point where I'm talking about splitting the clip, you'll notice I can move the clip back and forth. This white line that comes down the sheet right here at the bottom, that's called the playhead. And typically in most video editing software suites, you would move the playhead where you want it. iMovie does things a little bit different. There's a creative piece in Apple. iMovie does it a little bit different, and you actually slide the clip through the playhead to determine what part of your movie you're in. So the other piece to this, you might ask, how am I sliding the clip back and forth? You can either take your finger or a stylus. This is called scrubbing. So you can either do one of two things. You can either drag your finger in the timeline, make sure you're not on the clip, but drag your finger on anywhere in the timeline, and that'll help you scrub. Or you can take the stylus, obviously, and slowly go back and forth. I use the stylus quite a bit because it allows me a little bit of fine tuning, if you will. My fingers are pretty fat, so the fine tuning of my fingers is pretty rough, but a stylus helps me do that quite a bit. So I am going to scrub right to the very beginning of where my waveform starts, because that's, in my mind, that's where I started talking. So I'm ready to cut this clip. I'm ready to split it and get rid of the beginning. So here's how you're basically splitting a clip. You're going to push on the clip itself. You'll see it again, highlight with yellow. You'll notice two buttons down below on the left corner. One says video, one says audio. I'm going to make sure I'm on the video button, which should be highlighted. And then you see all of these tools on the right side that allow you to do different things, which will just affect this one clip right here in front of you. So I scroll through them, and the one I'm going to need is split. So I just click on split, and it cuts the clip into two different clips now, exactly where the playhead is. Okay, so you got to make sure wherever that playhead is exactly where you want the split to happen. So now I've got two clips, and what I wanted to do was get rid of the front part where I was kind of looking away. So I push on the front clip, and you keep going down your video tools, and you'll see a trash can in the bottom right. When we imported all the videos from Google Drive, I used the trash can to delete clips. Well, notice the clip is selected now. Now if I just hit the trash can, the front part of that clip gets thrown away. So I'm going to slide through this. All right, so I'm going to actually clip this as well after I'm done talking. So I'm going to do the same exact process. I put the playhead exactly where I want it to go. I select the clip, it highlights, and I push split. And now all I got to do is select the second half of this and delete it. And I'm left with exactly what I want. And that's the kind of clip that I need right there. So to recap very quickly, we pulled this from an actual camera shot from the iPad right away and put it right into the timeline. Let's go back to the EDL and see what's next. Next thing says, download a clip of the New York City skyline from YouTube and place it into as the second clip. The clip should be no more than 15 seconds long. So I'm going to kind of back up a little bit and not really, I've got a video clip I'm going to go use. I don't have to go download it from YouTube, but I do need to make it a favorite so it's accessible to me in this project. And here it, see if I can pick the right one. I think it is this one. Oh, is that the, yep, here it is right here. So this is a clip that I did get from YouTube. And it's just a skyline view of New York City. I'm going to make it a favorite and then kick back into my project for editing. And it should be available to me. Yep, let's go back to favorites. 4 favorites. And there it is right there. Available to me. So I'm going to put that clip in. And here's how you insert a clip from your media bin. If I click on the clip, you're going to notice the yellow bar selecting it. There are 2 ways to put a media clip into the timeline. I can double click, and it automatically slides it into the timeline. Let me undo. Notice the undo button is on the top right corner next to the audio piece. Or I can hit the clip, and you'll notice a downward arrow that shows up. That allows you to import the clip into the timeline as well. So I can push on that, and the clip goes into my timeline. The other piece I'll show right now, and I know it's hard to tell because you can't really see my hand gestures, but if I'm in the timeline and I want to expand the view of the timeline, all I have to do is swipe out with 2 fingers. If I want to shrink the timeline and so that I can see all of the clips in the timeline, all I do is pinch. Understand those hand gestures do not change the length of the movie whatsoever. All they do is allow you to expand or shrink the view that you've got currently. It's very helpful when you start looking at movies that probably have hundreds of clips in them to be able to expand and shrink very quickly because you'll find yourself doing that quite a bit. So my clip from YouTube is 1 minute and 7 seconds long. You might ask, how the heck do I know that? I'm sorry, no, the clip from YouTube is actually 1 minute and 4 seconds. So there's a big distinction here between numbers that are on the screen. If I look to the right of the clip that's selected, you'll see 1 minute and 7. Okay, that has always been the time of the entire movie. So your total length of time for the whole entire movie will always appear to the right of the last clip that you have. If I select the clip, I look up above now in the monitor window, and now you'll see up in the top of the monitor window, it'll say 1 minute and 4 seconds, and 7 frames is actually what the 0.7 stands for. Well, we won't get into frames and all of that at this point in time, but if you're interested, you can always look it up on Wikipedia or something like that. How is video time managed in a digital process? That'll be a great research paper for you. So I've got the time to the right, which is the total time of the whole movie, and then the time on the right on the monitor board, which tells you exactly what the clip is going to be. So I'm going to cut this clip. I'm actually going to play through this clip and see. I just kind of want a good chunk of this clip. I don't need a minute of it. Actually, any part of this will be good. So I'll stop it there. Let's clip it out there. I'm going to split it. And then we'll scroll through a little bit. Just give a good amount of this. And I'm going to split it again. And I'm going to delete the beginning and the end, which leaves me, let's see how long this clip is now. So now I cut everything off. You'll notice the time of the whole movie is now 14.5 seconds or something like that. I've got a clip that's roughly 12.2 seconds. Let me check my EDL. It says the clip should be no more than 15 seconds long. I think I'm good. I passed the test right there.